Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm kind of retreated into the teddy bears room again to my cards and everything. I don't have the yes and no cards. I don't have anything with me except for the Celtic Tarot, so I'm going to try and just wing it with that. Um, but first, I want to talk about something really quick. On Friday, I posted a video, and somebody was very astute in making the comment that I kept looking to the left in the video. When I would hold up the cards, I would look to the left. The reason that I did that was because my computer was kind of off to the left, and what I would have to do is I would have to look on the computer screen to see if the card was actually in frame, because it would be really bad if I held up a card and it was like this, and I got the Seven of Swords, and it's like you can't even see the card. So I just thought, I need to find a way to do this without getting the cards on the computer, because what happened was when I would do the readings, when I would pull the cards, guess what would happen? I would lay them on the computer, and then I would unconsciously the shut off the recording. So I went through an entire video a couple of weeks ago where I had been sitting at the computer, and I pulled a card, I laid it on the computer, and then I unconsciously turned off the recording. But I didn't know it. I didn't realize it. I continued recording, and I only had like a minute and 20 seconds or something on the video because because the uh because the card ended up laid on the computer, and then that ended up shutting off the recording. So that's why I did that, and I moved the computer to one side so that I have a place, because when I do the cards, I do the Celtic cross, and so I lay the cards so that I can see them and so that I can reference back to them when I do the readings. But that's why I would be looking off to the left, because that's where the computer was, and I needed to see it so that I could hold up the cards, and I would hold up the cards in front of the camera, but I wouldn't know if unless I was able to see the screen, if the cards were actually on there. So that's what I did, and I thought that was just, I thought I needed to address that. Anyway, so I found out this morning that Judge Frank Caprio passed away last week. And I was very sad to hear that, because he was a good guy. He was really, really good. If you ever watch the show Caught in Providence, where he, would reside over court cases and stuff, and he was just a very gentle, kind, and loving man. And so my thoughts and condolences go out to his family, his friends, those who knew him, and he really had an amazing impact, and it just shows how much of a reach that people can have when they're in when they're in on YouTube and stuff like that. So people do have a reach, and they are able to affect people's lives in a positive way. And so my thoughts and prayers are go out to his family. And cancer, don't even get me started, because I would just I battled breast cancer in 2017, 2018, and it was the hardest time in my life. And that's why but I mention it in a way because it was sort of a blessing, because it taught me where my limits were and where I could say no, and I don't want this, and I'm not happy with this, and I don't like this, and et cetera, et cetera. So for me, having survived it, my heart goes out to all of those people who are affected by it and who have lost people through it. It's a terrible disease. It's a terrible thing, and I hope that one day they find a cure for it. So that's my thoughts on that. But he was a very brave and very courageous man, and I have so much respect for him. And he always said, "Pay it forward," and that's what I try to do. And it's a philosophy that I hope every single person that came in contact with him will continue to spread out to the rest of the world, because paying it forward is really his legacy. And it is what will make people inspired, inspired to pay it forward, to give to others, to help others when they need help, and not think just of oneself. So that's what I got there. So I'm going to, couple of days ago, I saw on Susan Lynn's channel. She's Susan Lynn Spirit Navigator. She's a very good channel, and she does. She's a psychic, a medium, and she has a community. She has a very large community, and and I'm very glad to be a part of that. Even if I don't always have time to go on her Lightworkers page to to talk to the chat with people and stuff like that, because I have so much going on. I have so much to do. But she does this, and she had a video up last night that kinda gave me chills. And she can see spirits when, and she's like spirits walking around her house, and then she said, you know, but she is able to get them to cross over and stuff like that. But anyway, she said she saw a spirit that she thought was the big fat orange problem. And I was just like, wow, this is like uber freaky. But it got me to wondering. Um, I do not know what's going on, but there's an energy, and I feel it. And Susan Lynn talked about it, and Marianne talked about it, and other intuitives have been talking about it. I think Linda G mentioned it too. But they have been talking about this shift that's coming, or that there's going to be some big, huge news coming up. And so I want to pull cards on the month of September. And I'm not doing it in specifics in as far as health readings, because there's enough of those out there. You don't need mine. You don't need me adding to it, and I don't really want to go into that energy anyway. So I'm going to read on September. I'm going to see what the cards tell me about September, the month of September 2025, and I'm going to see if there's anything that we can, like, you know, take away from all the stuff that's going on around us, because there is something going on. I've been having some very weird dreams, specifically about the big fat orange problem, and about his transition. And I am not somebody who is really like Susan Lynn or like Linda G, who are really psychically linked. I mean, I know that we all have psychic abilities in us, and that we can kind of sort of sense things. But I'm not as my skills in that area are simply not as defined as theirs are. Refined, I think, is the word. But they're not. They're just. I mean, it's just feelings that I get, inklings that I get from from this, from that, whatever. But I am not somebody who really is as in tune with that as they are, because they've been doing it for a lot longer. They've been, really connecting with their spirit guides for a lot longer than I have. And they got something going on that's like really cool. So I'm not somebody who is going to say, yeah, 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 I can, that this is what I sense. But basically, what I am getting is that there's going to be major transition in September. That's what I'm getting. And I don't know what that means or what have you, but I just get the feeling that September is going to be the start of when we see the light at the end of the tunnel. And right now, things are really, really hard. And I'm finding myself, when I watch in independent media, I don't watch any legacy media at all. I just don't have any interest in it at all. But I've been watching independent media, and people are like freaking out about everything that's going on. And it's like, clearly they're just looking at it through the lens of being a news source, of just telling the news, reading the news and saying, okay, this is what's going on, this is what's happening. And which is part of the reason why I stopped watching a lot of it, because I just really am not interested in what the media is saying at the moment. I'm more interested in what the card readers, what the psychics, what the intuitives have to say about it, because for some reason That seems to click with me more so than sitting and watching independent media or watching the media in general. So what I want to do is I want to see what September is going to look like for us. So I'm going to give these another quick shuffle. Here we go. Poker shuffle. I could work at Vegas. I could work in Vegas, but I'm not going to Vegas. So see what these cards have to say today. What do you have to tell me about September? What was the song in September? Uh, we sang it in choir, but card flipped out. Gotta get it. I get it. There it is. Okay. You guys say use that card as as the basis of your reading. So I got the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles is a prosperity, as though I see it as prosperity. And I see it as nearly at the end of a journey and working towards that prosperity that everybody aspires to have. So this is like an almost there card. We are almost where we need to be. And I have to figure out where I'm going to do this so you can at least see me a little bit. There we go. So this is that. I think this is that prosperity, and this is like showing off and saying, yeah, we're almost there. We're almost to the point where we need to be, and this is we're just about there. We're just about where we need to go, and we'll see what happens. But that's the basis of the reading. It's crossed by the Knight of Wands, and I don't have my cheat sheet with me. So I have to try and remember. The Knight of Wands is the one who surges forward. He moves forward, marches forward, and makes a statement. And basically, he is he is saying we're not yet there. We're not yet where we need to be, but we're getting there. And so he is continuing on that journey, and he is surging or moving forward. The underarching energy is the Page of Swords. And I really do need my cheat sheet because I can't remember anything. My brain is toast. Just a minute. Okay, I got my cheat sheet. I'm sorry. I really do need this right now because I'm getting confused here. Okay, so we're at the Page of Swords, and we got quick-minded, cool, deep, and analytical. So basically what I see is I see somebody who's surging forward, as crossed by the Page of Wands, or the Knight of Wands, sorry. The Knight of Wands is charging forward, but the Page of Swords is saying, hold up, hold up. We need to be we need to take this, in a more of a analytical way. So we need to try and, take this in a more analytical, a more calming way, and see how this plays out. In the immediate past, we have the Fool. Well, obviously. The Fool is the one who, basically charges forward but doesn't think. He leaps before he looks, basically, is how I kind of see this individual. So this is like and this is the card that I always seem to pull with for the Big Fat Orange Problem. This basically is just running in and running into a crowded theater and shouting fire and stuff like that. This is what the energy that I get from this particular card with this particular individual. So you've got this guy who's like running in and trying to, you know, he's trying to uh he's trying to charge forward, but he's not really doing so in a very good way, which is really kind of counter to the analytical of the Page of Swords. But the Fool is he seems to be the one that is, kind of wanting to jump off the cliff and checking to see. I think of Yosemite Sam, falling from the, in the high diving hair when Bugs Bunny is up on this high thing. this diving platform, and Yosemite Sam is trying to get him to dive, and every time Yosemite Sam is the one who ends up falling into the water because he's just trying to push, and Bugs Bunny is always outsmarting him. And so that's what I sort of the feel that I get is this sort of the big fat orange problem is Yosemite Sam, and he's just doing all this stuff off the cuff, and he's just pushing things forward, and the rest of us are Bugs Bunny, and we're all thinking, what an idiot. That's the feel that I get. The overarching energy is the King of Pentacles. Well, this is the big fat orange problem. This is who this is all about. And generally, the King of Pentacles is a nice king. He's a good king. But in the case of the big fat orange problem, this isn't a nice person. This is not a nice person at all. This is a egotistical, narcissistic blowhard who thinks that he's right and everybody else is wrong. In the immediate future, we have the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is the kind, thoughtful, gentle energy. And this is in the immediate future. So we have the people who are responding as kindness and thoughtfulness and gentility. And it's becoming better for people to actually see a kind, thoughtful, gentle energy after going through all the stuff that we've already been through. So this is an awaited sort of energy that we're anticipating it. We want to see a kindness, a gentility that reemerges in society. We want to see the kind of Frank Caprio ideas of paying it forward, of being kind, of being caring, of being honest and being, just being there for each other. And that is the kind of energy that we are kind of wanting. We're wanting to see this come forward, and we're wanting to feel it and experience it. Um, uh, the hopes and fears is the Eight of Cups. This is walking away. This is, I think in September, people are going to be forced to walk away from this evil, unkind, negative energy that we've been subjected to for so long. And this is what we are, this is what we are kind of contending with, is this idea that this energy that we have uh, right now is this such a negative energy, and now we are trying really, really hard to to um to look at this stuff, and we're trying to just walk away from it because it's just become so difficult and so toxic that there's no other alternative but to just walk away from it. um how others see you, star card. I mean, yeah, there we go. The star card, this is the light, the beacon of light that we are getting from the universe, from ourselves, from our neighbors, from everybody that's around us. This is the beacon of light. This is the light in the darkness that we are getting during this. This is our options, our choices, what we can do. And as you notice that she is pouring water from one cup to the other in this image, this is about being making the right choice in that sense, but also looking to the light and seeing the light amidst the darkness. And the what you wish for, another hopes and dreams or whatever, is the Hangman. This is the suspension. So until things start to change, this is what we've got. We are in suspension. We are, kind of dealing with all of the things that are going on in our lives that we just don't want to contend with. But this is the, being hanging. So we're hanging. We are in that sense of suspension where we are trying to figure out where we're going and what we're doing, but we're still in that sense where things haven't changed yet, so we're just waiting for them to change. And this is like at a really, really strange angle, and so like, yeah. more centered now. And the final outcome is the Seven of Swords. This is your thief in the night. And we're still dealing with that. And in September, I think we will still be dealing with that thief in the night. We will still be dealing with the thievery, the dishonesty, the criminal behaviors and things like that. So we're still going to be dealing with it in September. But I think we are inching our way closer to an eventual outcome that we can sort of live with. I'm just going to pull one more card. The Nine of Wands. We're weary, tired. We're ready for this to be over. We're ready for this to end. The Ace of Pentacles. This is the new beginning that we're hoping for. That things will start coming out. Information. So the Pentacles isn't really about new starts and stuff like that in that sense. The Ace of Pentacles in this instance is about the information that's going to come forward. And that's what I sense, is that this is not about starting over, but it's about the information that's going to be bursting forward. There's going to be information that's going to come out, it's going to emerge, and we are going to get some answers. And finally, we've got the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is the cool, detached, intriguing, strong personality. So who's the King of Swords in this instance? Maybe it's Gavin Newsom. Maybe it's one of these people who are saying, we're going to fight this, we're going to try and get through all of this, and we're going to come out victorious in the end. So that's what I've got on that. September is looking like a mixed bag again. I'm hopeful that we will not be sitting here in a month from now trying to turn our gears, trying to figure out why it is that we're getting all this information, and why it is that people are kind of dealing with all of this stuff. So I don't know specifically what's going on when it comes to what's going to happen in September. But the feelings that I get from the cards is that we're going to still be kind of contending with everything that's going on. I don't want to ask about transitioning, if certain individuals are going to transition, because my guides won't answer that. I'll get blank cards, I'll get everything like that from them, because they're not going to tell me if so and so is going to transition. They're not going to. What they're going to do is they're going to tell me to stow it, basically, because they are. And I went and got my yes and no cards, so in this instance, they are basically saying, don't go there. Just don't go there. You want to know if so and so is going to transition, but that's not what's going to happen. We're going to be kind of dealing with all of this stuff, you know, in our own time. So what we could say is, will there be changes in September? Will things in the U.S. change in September? Whoops. Will things change in September? Will things change in September in the U.S.? Will things change in September? Will things change in September? I mean, whether good or for bad, will things change? Things change in September. Yes, they will change. Okay. Will the change be considered by the masses of people? Will the change be considered positive? Will the change be considered like a positive step forward? Will it be a positive step forward? Will the change be a positive step forward? We've already been through so much, but let's see. Will the change be a positive step forward? These cards keep flipping out. Let me snag them. Will these changes be positive in our perspective of positive? Will they change? Will the changes be positive by our perspective of positive, as in our lives getting better? Will the changes be positive in our in our perspective of positive? Will the changes be? Yes. Okay, because we've been through enough already as is. So we're going to have some positive changes happening in September. This coincides with a lot of what the other intuitives are saying with regards to the month of September. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic that things will get better for everybody in September. Will there be a reason to celebrate in September? Will we have a reason to celebrate in September? I mean, will we have a reason to celebrate in September? I have to not look at the cards because some of them I do know the cards. And I want this to be a total surprise. Will we have a reason to celebrate in September? Yes. Thank you. That's 3 4 3 4. Okay. So we will have a reason to celebrate. We will things will get better in September. And coincides with what the other intuitives have been saying. So I'm really happy about that. That's fantastic. So I don't know what's going to happen as far as September and how things are gonna play out in September, but I do know that the changes that are coming are positive, and that we will have some positive news. So, well, let's ask one more question. Um, will Okay, give these a good shuffle here. Give these a good mix. Yeah, I'm mixing them. Will the files, and the universe knows what files I'm referring to, will they be released in September? Will the files, and I don't mean this concocted baloney that they tried to give to Congress, that Representative Garcia said was total BS. Will the actual files be released in September? Will the actual files, the real information that people are clamoring for, will that be released in September? No, they will not. Okay. Um, will people start listening to the victims? That's, I think, the more important question. Will people start listening to the victims? Society in general, will they start listening to the victims? Whoops. Ugh. That's what happens when you laminate cards. Will people start listening to the victim? No. So, well, it's supposed to get better in September. Let me ask one last time. Will the files be released by the end of the year? By the winter solstice? Will the files be released by the winter solstice? It's the 21st of December, for anybody keeping score. Will the files be released by the winter solstice? Yes. Okay. Okay. So we've got some news coming down. So it may not be in September, but it'll probably be by the end of the year. Will the U.S. government change by the end of the year? Will the U.S. government change by the end of the year? U.S. government change by the end of the year. Or by the winter solstice. I mean, by the 21st of December, which is astrologically, that sort of is a time frame. Will the U.S. government change by the 21st of December? Yes. Okay. So there you go. So that's what I've got. Yeah, my guys they've been being nice to me with the yes and no cards. I mean, some of the answers are not what I expect or not what I hope for, but a lot of the answers have been really hopeful. So that's what we need right now in this day and age. So we got the reading for September done. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of cards for the rest of the year, just to see, kind of give us a little overview, because I said things are going to change by the by the winter solstice, just before Christmas. Things will change. And so let's pull a few cards on the change. Maybe we can kind of decipher what kind of changes we're in store for. I don't think I need to pull any more cards. Justice. Justice. Justice is coming. Justice is coming. I don't think I need to pull any more cards. Do you? Honestly, I'm not going to, because this is the card that we really want. This is the one we want. So that's what I got for you today. Or should I? Should I? Maybe. Let's just see what's next. Oh, we got the lovers here. The lovers. Yeah. And we got the Two of Swords. Decisions being made. Decisions. People are going to have to decide. They're going to have to make some decisions where their loyalty is. And we got the Ace of Swords, which is a sword of truth. The truth is going to emerge. This is what the yes and no card said. The truth will be coming out. The truth, it may not come out in the time that we expect. It may not come out in September, but the truth is going to come out. It's going to emerge, and we're going to find out some information that we need. And then we got the Two of Wands. This is one of my favorite cards because it always talks about the decision, about the choice, which way to go. I always think of the Robert Frost poem, Two birds diverged in a wood, and I took the one less chosen by, or less traveled by. Sorry, less traveled by. And I mean, I like how this one has like one direction. It looks like it's really like the weather's not that great, and then the other side you got the birds flying and you've got the sun shining. So yeah, so decisions are going to be made. And then we got the Five of Pentacles. Somebody's going to be left out in the cold. Somebody. I don't know who, but somebody's going to be left out in the cold. And I think given the yes and no cards, I think we can safely assume that's a big fat orange problem and his supporters that are going to be left out in the cold. Got the Four of Cups. Something's going to be given to them, but they're going to ignore it because they've got too many other problems going on. And I think that this is the delusions of grandeur that they have in their minds, but that it's not going to be what they expect. And we got Seven of Pentacles, which is the harvest. You get what you put in. What you put into the universe is what you get out of the universe. That is the card that is how I interpret this card. When you get this card and you have a harvest that is good, that's positive, that's filled with light, love, and good energy, that is what you're going to get out of it. If you put in all the negativity, the hate, the vindictiveness, the narcissism, all this other stuff, that's what you're going to get. That's the energy that you're swimming in if you are making that choice. If you choose goodness, then that's what your harvest is going to be. If you choose negativity and hate and violence and all this other stuff, that's the harvest you're going to get. That is your outcome. And we got Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving. This guy is basically people want from him, and he's giving, or he's taking, as depending on which way you look at it. And then we have again this Page of Swords. Page of Swords is popping in now and again. These cards are like all, they're so Page of Swords, and then hello, the Devil. The devil will make his due. The devil will get his due. So at any rate, so that's what I got for you today. I was going to just do the one card, but yeah, I think that the devil will get his due, and that we will be we'll be okay. So yeah, things are changing, things are happening. They're going to keep happening. September's going to be crazy, so strap in and get ready to ride out the craziest month of your life. That's my take on it. I think that that's going to be the craziest month ever. So enjoy it. Break out the popcorn if you really feel you need to, and just enjoy whatever comes. We're going to be there. We're in this together, and we're going to get through it. But that's the way it is. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I'm really happy to be here, and I'm happy to be a part of this community that we are creating together. One subscription and one viewer at a time. Everybody has a place here. And I hope you have a great day. I hope that you are healthy and well and hydrated. If it's hot where you are, then do stay hydrated, drink lots of water, and take care of yourself. And I'll try and be back on tomorrow. And the reason I wasn't on yesterday was because my husband did not go flying yesterday. We were busy all day yesterday. We were doing stuff, enjoying our time together. And now that he's home every day, I have to find time in the day when I can come on and do videos and do meditations and things like that. So it's going to be a little bit harder for me to do the meditations in the future because I have to find some time, alone time to do that. So I will see what I can come up with, and I'll help you when I do. So take care, have a great day, and as always, namaste.